In the year 2011, Rocky Mountain Construction, also known as RMC, debuted their first roller coaster, New Texas Giant, and in the years that followed, they only got better. They have already put together one of the greatest roller coaster catalogs of all time, and I've gotten the chance to experience 5 of their many amazing roller coasters. But this is my first video, so I want to introduce myself. My name is Michael, last name is Causey, hence the channel name. Because let's be real, Causey's Coasters has a way better ring to it than Michael's Coasters. I was actually just in Coaster Dash's recent Dorney Park vlog. He's a great guy, I highly recommend his videos. But anyways, the point of this video is to rank all 5 RMCs that I've been on, from worst to best. Now don't get me wrong, I love every single one of these rides, but there are some I love more than others. Also, you won't be seeing rides I haven't ridden, so Iron Gwazi, Twisted Colossus, Airy Force 1 won't be on the list. But let's not waste any more time, let's get right into it. Kicking off my list at number 5 is Jersey Devil Coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure. Since this ride is at my home park, this is by far the RMC that I've ridden the most. This is also the most flawed RMC that I've ridden. I still really love this ride, but it's got a bit of problems. I'm simply not the biggest fan of this ride's restraints or the seating position. There's been so many times where the restraints come down on me about halfway through the ride, which limits the airtime I get. And unlike the other RMCs on this list, this is the only one that has a rattle. Now it doesn't ruin the ride, but it's really noticeable. But I'll say this ride has an unbelievable first drop. Easily second best drop in the park, after El Toro. And if you don't get stapled, you're really able to enjoy this ride's airtime moments. I also really love the inversions, especially the 0G stall. You get some great hang time there. Even with some of the flaws that hold this ride back, I still really enjoy it, and it's one of my favorites at Great Adventure. Choosing between numbers 4 and 3 I actually found to be quite difficult, but number 4 is Twisted Timbers at King's Dominion. Unlike most RMCs, this ride has a barrel roll down drop, so basically the drop is an inversion. You get some good airtime on the drop as well. Speaking of airtime, this ride has quite a lot of it. That triple camelback, oh my gosh. The ejector airtime you get on those 3 hills is unbelievable. I also really enjoy a lot of the other airtime moments on Twisted Timbers. There's a lot of quantity of it, but there's also a lot of quality too. The airtime is both aggressive and sustained. I do wish some of the turns had a bit more of a bite to them. That's pretty much my only downside here. But the amount of airtime moments really make up for that. And overall, RMC did an exceptional job with this conversion. And this, along with Intimidator 305, makes King's Dominion a must visit. Number 3 is Wicked Cyclone at Six Flags New England. This was the first RMC that I ever rode, and this ride is truly deserving of that accolade, because this ride is really freaking good. That first drop in the back row is wild. You get flung over it, and it's not even that big of a drop, but it definitely blew me away. This ride also has a really compact layout. The elements are really tightly packed, which makes them really intense. A good example would be the first overbank, which was a lot more intense than I was expecting. This ride has so many great airtime moments as well, especially that double down. One of the highlights is when you weave in and out of the structure. You cross under so many support beams. It makes for some awesome head choppers. I think the reason I slightly prefer this over Twisted Timbers is because I felt the ride's turns and inversions were more impressive, but they're both really close for me and I love both of them. Number 2 is Wildcat's Revenge at Hersheypark. I actually got to ride the original Wildcat before it got converted into an RMC. And while it wasn't as rough as I expected, I felt like the layout didn't really do a whole lot. And besides, the neighboring Lightning Racer was much better and much more popular. So when I heard this was getting RMC'd, I was hyped. I had high expectations, but somehow this ride exceeded those expectations. This ride is so aggressive. Some of the transitions are so quick, they almost feel kind of janky. Now this ride is not rough, but it does have a lot of power. This also had some of the best inversions on any RMC that I've ridden, which are only matched by my number 1. This is because the ride is so well paced, so you have much more speed going into the inversions on this than you do for the ones on Cyclone and Timbers. What also impressed me is this ride's airtime. I know it's expected for an RMC to have great airtime, but this one has some really sustained airtime moments. I found myself to be really amazed by the first airtime hill, the double down, and even the wave turns. This ride is really just out of control. And going into it, I didn't know if I would like it more than Wicked Cyclone and Twisted Timbers, but I did. I don't know which one I prefer, this or Sky Rush. They're both such incredible rides. Number 1, Steel Vengeance, located at Cedar Point. This isn't just the best RMC that I've ridden. This is also the best roller coaster that I've ridden. Top to bottom, this ride is the full package as far as a layout is concerned. Its 90-degree first drop gives some insane ejector, but it's what follows that's even better. The top hat gives some incredible sustained ejector, but it's the Outer Banks airtime hill right after that really steals the show. It's probably my favorite airtime moment of all time. You are out of your seat for probably about 3 or 4 seconds on this hill. And the banking makes that sensation even better. I also really love the inversions. Similar to Wildcat's Revenge, you take these inversions really fast. But this ride is mostly about airtime, and the airtime it has is just relentless. I get the feeling that RMC and Cedar Point wanted this to be the roller coaster with the most airtime, and if that was their goal, they probably accomplished that. I also find it cool how it transitions from a larger, more sprawling layout in the first half to a more compact layout with smaller elements in the second half. It not only gives this ride more variety, but it also helps it keep its speed. Much like on Wicked Cyclone, this ride also has those head choppers where you travel right under the support beams. It's already a great visual, but the variety of elements really adds to that. And Steel Vengeance ends with an absolute bang. It's like 6 consecutive airtime moments. Like, bro, that's freaking insane. I actually remember laughing on the brake run when it was over. I didn't know what I just experienced, but what I did know was that this ride is perfection. And I'm interested to see if anything will top Steel Vengeance for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was really cool talking about these RMCs, and I'm definitely excited to ride more in the future. Thank you guys for watching my first video. I hope to upload more content. Anyways, take care and peace out.